The older that you get, the harder that it is to find a partner. This isn't because the dating pool is less. It's actually because you acquire more trauma. And when you encompass trauma, which is something that you, me, everybody on planet Earth, life is traumatic. Get a helmet. I don't know what to tell you. As we acquire trauma, our brain is like, nope, never again. I'm not doing it like that. So it encapsulates it and says, nope, we are not going to be in a relationship because that felt unsafe. So now in your brain, subconsciously, you believe that the only version of safety is by being single. And what's incredibly difficult is breaking outside of this pattern, breaking outside of your brain, changing, making a switch and maybe not forcing, but making a switch and finding peace, safety, and comfort within being vulnerable, within being in your feminine energy, within a relationship. If you are courageous enough to want to move outside this current reality into the relationship of your dreams, I'm offering a discount on my 8-week coaching program to supercharge you, get you in your feminine energy and outside of the trauma that you're living in. Comment or DM me the word moon.
You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
Danko, we ain't talking about profiting off of a woman's trauma. I mean, I'm sorry, but statistically speaking, men are by far and large more protective of their wives or significant others and their families than there are men who are practitioners of DV. This girl isn't blind. I'm very conscious that there are men out there who commit DV. And those who actually commit DV, not the ones who are accused, but the ones who are proven that they actually commit DV, should be judged by the system and given out a sentence accordingly. But not just the men, also the women who commit DV as well. And ladies, before you jump on the M2 movement saying, yeah, believe all of one gender against the other gender, regardless if the other gender proclaims their innocence. I'm sorry, but we live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty. I actually believe in due process. And as for this queen trying to make a quick buck off of some women's fear, all I gotta say is, hey, who hurt you? Seriously, there's a reason why good men stay away from women like this one. Because I'm sorry, a woman like this, I wouldn't put it past her to bend the truth a tad bit just to get a man putting some very pretty new bracelets by other men. I mean, sister, I just gotta say it. When you try to sell fear like you're doing with the Kung Fu stance hand motions, the only thing that motivates this gorilla to do is to go watch some of Jackie Chan's old films. Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on.
You know, sometimes I do wish that I could release the feeling of wanting companionship or relationship with my person, because I feel as though it has held me back in a lot of different ways. Being a single mother, it has really made me realize that I've spent a lot of wasted time wanting and waiting for my person. I'm not sure if I'm saying this because I've had several failed relationships, several people have wasted my time, several people have hurt me, several people have lied to me. But I just wish that I could remove that desire. That desire has held me back in so many different ways. For example, when it comes to traveling, I always said, oh, I want to start traveling with my person, with my friend. We can travel the world. You know, I'm not trying to do this big lavish thing, but whenever we have the time and money, we'll just pick a spot and we'll go and build memories. That's always been my thing. I want someone that I can build memory with. Now, here I am, 30. I've only been to one country outside of the United States. I've been to a few states, but I haven't really done much. And that's because I was waiting. I was waiting on my person. Now, I am thankful prior to me having my first child and only child, because we're done. I am so thankful that I still had a lot of drive and ambition to accomplish several financial goals, education goals, career goals. Doing that, I actually don't struggle 100% in single parenthood. I still struggle, but not completely, because I did set myself up. So I'm so happy I wasn't that silly waiting for a person. But as a single mother, I feel like there's so much I could have dedicated my time, my heart, my passions and feelings for instead of another person. Now, I don't know if I feel like this because I was listening to Solange sit at the table. That's my girl, my twin. I love Solange, okay? If I could be anybody, I want to trade places with Solange. She be getting in my fields. So yeah, I don't know. Also, I could be starting my cycle soon, but it's very unfortunate because I am a Scorpio and we love relationships. That is our thing. I'm about to reach 30. I just don't feel like I'm honestly going to meet my person, and I just need to let it go. But it's been so hard for me to do that because it's something that I truly want. Now, don't get me wrong. One thing I love about being a Scorpio, we just don't act on our wants. I can literally count all my relationships on my hand. I don't just be with nobody, honey. I don't just be with nobody. Have I made some mistakes in who I have chosen? Yes, for sure. A major one. Now I'm sitting here with a child and trying to raise her by myself and function through life. It is what it is at this point. I just keep it moving. I don't know if anyone else out there feels that way as a young lady here in this world, especially if you are a single mom. If you do relate, let's talk in the comments. I don't know. I just want to talk about this and get it off my chest. Bye, girl.
Him, her, bodies.
Seriously, out of everything that she said, all I kept hearing was ways not to take accountability. All right, ladies, before you come at this girl as saying, oh, you are just so mean, you always want to blame her, let's stop everything right there. Let's stop the aggression and the attacking and the shaming tactics, and let's look at this logically. Number one, the biggest thing out of all of this, she is the one who decided to become a single mom. I know you're going to say, what about the dad? Hold up a second. You see, in this country, in the U.S., men have 0 reproductive rights. She decided to make him a dad. She is the one who decided to bring the pregnancy to full term. Her saying about, oh, I can't find a relationship, the very first question my male viewers will ask, and they are right to ask it, is, why didn't you make things work out with the father? And before you say, well, maybe he was a deadbeat, he was a dusty, he's a brokey, whatever, guess who chose him? She did. This is why I started off saying accountability. Number one, you chose the father. And if you're going to say, well, he got me pregnant. Okay, in this country, you're the one who gets all the choices here. You decide if you're going to bring the pregnancy to full term or not. And even after that, you're the one who decides if you're going to keep the child and become a mother and turn the man into a father, or you could decide to give up the kid for adoption. The point is, in the U.S. and the West in general, women have all the decision powers to make. And I don't want to hear about, oh, well, you know, reproductive rights have been downgraded for women. Okay, is that a 0? So now that we put that to the side, she's all about, oh, all these failed relationships and all this time wasted with all these other men. Again, all I'm hearing is your choices, Colleen. You decided to be with other men. You decided to be a single mom. All this falls back onto you. I mean, more evidence that she doesn't take accountability. She says, oh, it's all because I'm a Scorpio. Again, I've said this several times before. I believe the reason that women love all that astrology crap is because it allows them to lazily set accountability for their actions onto planets and stars that are billions of miles away. I mean, women will do anything not to be accountable for their actions. And this single mother is no exception to the rule. In fact, she's about par for the course at this point. And now I do admit that there was one point in her entire video that she actually accepted accountability when she mentioned the baby daddy who she chose. I mean, is there no wonder why the good men out there no longer want to help or date women like this? But don't worry, Colleen. Look at the bright side. In theory, the kids of a single mom do have some extra stuff that they could share and show and tell in school. I mean, they could say, yeah, I know who my mom is, I know who my dad is, and for a long time, I knew a bunch of guys who I thought were trying out for the stepdad position. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, they just didn't want it. Moving on.
One thing you have to understand about men is that they will not pursue you if they feel like they are not worthy of you. They will self-sabotage because they feel like what you bring to the table, like they cannot match up to that. If they feel like you're too smart, too ambitious, too anything, and they can't match up, they will self-sabotage. So before you think that you're the problem, what did I do wrong? No. It's almost like, what did you do right? You'd be surprised how many men will literally be like, okay, no, I'm not gonna compete, or I'm not gonna like try and pursue her because she's too much of this for me or that for me. I promise you, it is 99% never you. Don't be sad and wondering about what happened with that guy. It's honestly them, not you.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
OMG, my young queen. This gorilla actually believes that ODing on copium should be illegal. I mean, okay, so basically, guys don't go after you because they're scared of you, because you are way above their level. You know, queen, why don't you just change that up a little bit? How about, I don't know, this crazy idea that the reason men don't go after you is because they believe that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You're not worth the chase. The taco isn't worth the headache. The gift inside the box isn't worth the unwrapping. I mean, I could go on, but I think my point is clear here. How about you tell all the other women, hey, you know what? If a lot of these guys don't go after you, I think logically we could say that the common denominator is you. Totally nutsy idea, but it is quite possible that the reason that you're not getting approached by the guys that you want, or should I say, you're not getting the relationship from the guys that you're attracted to, is because they believe you're not good relationship material. Now, Colleen, before you start saying, oh, gorilla, you're always blaming the women. No, I don't, not in every case. I just talk about the cases that you women are attracted to. Now, don't get me wrong. There are cases where a HVM takes a mid as his main, but usually in those cases, he's very straight up with that main. He says, hey, check it out. You're going to be my main. I'm always going to come back to you. But every now and then, I'm going to get me a side piece. And if you can't handle this, you can go back to being alone. Food for thought. Moving on.
I'm not not here to give any of y'all love advice. Don't get it twisted, okay? Y'all going on the internet and looking for love advice, you are literally asking for someone to tell you how to take yourself to the hospital. You are literally asking someone, hello, how do I get in the way of my predator so he can assault me? That's what you're asking. Hello, how do I find a man that will marry me and inevitably assault me and probably... That's what you're asking. When you guys go online and ask for love advice, there is no love outside of you, okay? Men are never going to love you. Men see you as a whole. That is all they see you as. I don't know where this idea is coming from that I'm probably giving love advice. I'm actually trying to tell y'all that these men hate you. They don't care. They don't care at all. They never have. Your family, your friends, the boyfriends you date, all of them, if they are a male, they don't care about you unless you have something to give them. They want one thing from you. They want your whole. That's it, okay? They don't give a fuck. That's my love advice. They don't give a fuck about you. Stop wasting time on dating apps. Stop wasting time with your boyfriends and sticking with them if they cheat on you. Stop wasting time forgiving men. They don't care. All you are doing is disrespecting yourself by saying with a loser, okay? They don't care. They cheat with no remorse. They talk to them with no remorse. They will go beat it off to God knows what kind of videos. They don't care about humanity. They don't care about you. They are just ready to go to war when the government tells them to go. They are not here to love you, okay? Way too many examples of men being horrible people, okay? This is not some sort of like, oh, society made them this way. They grape their family, okay? They grape their blood, all right? They grape everybody. There is no limits. You guys are not understanding. Like, there is no point to try to date them. It will not give you anything, but it might send you to a mental asylum, okay? Do not tell them anything. Do not care about them. Care about yourself. There's my love advice. Decenter these rats.
All right, man, we'll send you to an asylum. Okay, Queen, I'm going to tell you right now. The one who needs to go to asylum isn't men. I would say it would be you. I mean, seriously, that is some really oppressive kind of talk you're saying there. I mean, men who do DV and all these things that you're claiming are a very small minority. I'm talking about less than 1% of men actually do that. 99% plus of all men are actually decent men who just want to have a family and want to take care of their women and their children. I mean, this Queen is talking like the movie The Color Purple is like her chest-thumping dogma to go to. Default. Go complete misandrous on this one. Men are no good. You gotta stay away from men. Look here, listen, Queen, let me tell you something. Everything that you said is contrary to popular belief. In fact, it's contrary to statistical data. If you look at statistical data, you know what kind of relationships have the highest amount of DV per capita? That would be lesbian relationships. I mean, women with women have the highest amount of DV, have the highest amount of divorce rates. So how can you blame men for those? Listen, I'm not here to point fingers. This word is just going to say, you obviously have some problems. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you are a vile young female. This gorilla believes that you have unresolved traumas, maybe daddy issues, and maybe because of those daddy issues, you actually went out to date a guy who was destined for the prison system because he just couldn't keep his hands to himself. That's what it sounded like to me here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I gotta say, it seems to me that you chose wrong. It seems to me that you chose the guy who decides, hey, you know what? These hands are rated E for everyone. He started giving out a 2-for-1 special when it came to violence. But I gotta say, just because you experienced a guy who's that bad does not mean that every guy's like that. Just like this girl will be the first to say, not every woman is a bad woman. Are there good women out there? Yes, they are. Although, I do recognize that in the West, especially in the US, that percentage is a very low number. But they still do exist. How about this, Colleen? How about you slow down and you decide, hey, you know what? Maybe instead of saying that all men are bad, I could say that I do recognize that some men are bad, but most men are not. I mean, I'm sorry. It's really easy to put a man behind bars in the U.S. All you got to do is accuse him of a crime. I mean, there doesn't even have to be any evidence. You just tell the cops, hey, you know what? Hey, Mr. Police Officer, my boyfriend beat the crap out of me. Even though he never really laid a hand on me, I feel that he should go to jail. And bam! He's behind prison and he's trying to prove his innocence. But look at the bright side, Queen. Your way of thinking guarantees lawyers that they're going to have a payday come up. Thanks to you. I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund. Or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.